Shalom, Israel. Shalom, shalom. Brother Naquam, watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another cold cut, giving, of course, our honor and glory to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Hamalak Yahushai. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting for the second coming of Yahushai. Our hearty shalom to you mighty men that go out there and labor and do the work of the Most High, presenting your body as a living sacrifice, enduring all things for the elect's sake, pushing this truth and magnifying the ministry. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there in the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying, they're fasting, they're studying. They're being diligent and abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the Aquath out there holding it down in households, reverencing their husbands, being submissive, being diligent, being steadfast and unmovable, and being in the spirit of our holy foremothers. Shalom, shalom. This is the topic of this live stream, or this cold cut, this last book or last chapter, last page, something to that extent. I can't remember the exact title verbatim, but it is a continuation of Revelation, the 22nd chapter, where I left off this past Sabbath. So if you watch this past Sabbath, or this past Saturday, so-called, I went into Revelation, the 22nd chapter, and time constrained me to only bring out so much. So I want to continue where I left off and try to finish that chapter and go into the breakdown or go into some precepts and make it as edifying as possible if it be the will of Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahushua, right? And I'm starting back where I left off, right? So if I'm not mistaken, in Revelation chapter 22 and verse 4, right? Let's go to Revelation chapter 22 and 4. It reads, "And they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads." We went into that, right? In the kingdom of heaven, you're actually going to have the name of the Lord in your forehead, right? Meaning you're going to be, another way of saying that is the laws in your inward parts, right? In the kingdom of heaven. Now, when the elect are sealed, the Father's name and his Son's name are going to be in their foreheads, meaning they have the knowledge of Yahweh Yahushua. They have been sealed, you understand? But more so in the kingdom of heaven, in Revelation 22, the laws are going to be in our inward parts, right? And we're going to be automatically righteous, right? Let's go to the book. And a lot of our people, they have Esau's name in their forehead, right? Not that it's actually written in there, but whatever this man stands for, this beast and his image, that's what's branded in the minds of our people, right? But let's go to the book of Ezekiel chapter 11 to show you a precept about the Father's name being in the foreheads, right? This is Ezekiel chapter 11 and verse 17. "Therefore say, thus said the Lord God, I will even gather you from the people and assemble you out of the countries where ye have been scattered, and I will give you the land of Israel, and they shall come thither, and they shall take away all the detestable things thereof, and all the abominations thereof from thence. And I will give them one heart." So this is the same way of the Father's name being implemented in your forehead to the fullest extent in the kingdom of heaven. Right? Because somewhat now, you're rehearsing the righteous acts. You know the commandment to believe in the Most High. You got the faith, but you're not automatically righteous. We still go off. We're in this corruptible body. It tells you in Romans chapter 8, 19 or 9, that the creature was made subject unto vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who hath subjected the same in hope. So we go off. You might think a wicked thought, right? Your flesh may compel you to do something contrary to the law. You may not willingly choose to go off, but the flesh overrides the spirit at times, right? The flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. That's Galatians chapter 5, 17 on down, right? So the Lord is going to give us a new heart and a new spirit, and we're going to keep the commandments, and we're not going to go off, and you're not going to think wicked thoughts, and you're not going to go off in the flesh, and you're not going to lust, and you're not going to have these negative things that lead to your downfall in the kingdom of heaven. And we'll be able to serve the Most High the way that we're created to serve the Most High, right? Reading on. And Ezekiel chapter 11 and 19. "And I will give them one heart, and I will put a new spirit within you, and I will take the stony heart out of their flesh, and will give them an heart of flesh, that they may walk in my statutes and keep my ordinances and do them, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God." You see that? So the Most High is going to give us a mind and a spirit where we automatically are walking in the law, statutes, and commandments. Right? You're not going to have to sit there and try to figure out and count the weeks for Pentecost. Well, hold on, is it this week or is it that week? Or, you try to figure out, it's the Sabbath day this day, or these brothers says on that day. You're going to have all of that, man. You're not going to have to sit there and figure out what's clean food, what's not clean food. You have to figure out, do I lust? Do I not? Is this woman married? All that stuff is going to be figured out because you're going to be automatically righteous in the kingdom of heaven, right? So let's go back on to Revelation chapter 22 and 5. It reads, and there shall be no night there, and they need no candle, neither light of the sun, for the Lord giveth them light, and they shall reign forever and ever. So what does it mean in the kingdom of heaven? There shall be no night there. That's not literal. A lot of people get tripped up when they get the Revelation and they read these different verses and they take them literal, right? Now the Lord said in Genesis, right? Let's get this precept in Genesis chapter 8. Well, actually, let's get one first, right? Let's go to Genesis chapter 1 and 14. And the Most High said, what Elohim said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. So in the kingdom of heaven, we're going to have feast days, right? You're going to keep the Passover. You're going to have the Feast of Tabernacles. You're going to keep the Sabbath day. In order to determine your day, you need the sun and the moon. It's not like when you get to the kingdom of heaven, the Most High is going to press a button and destroy the sun and the moon. No, that's not what it's talking about. In Revelation 22 and 5, when it says, and there shall be no night there, it's not talking about you're not going to have a sun and the moon, and it's going to be daytime forever. That's madness, man. Right? You're going to have literal nighttime. You're going to have literal daytime, right? But you have a spiritual nighttime and you have a spiritual daytime. Now, let's get another precept showing you that what dictates the night? The moon, right? And I'm going to read on in Genesis chapter 1 and 15. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and it was so. And the Most High, right? I'll just read as it's written. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. So if you believe that there's literally going to be no night, then we will need no moon. But that would make it an unjust balance because you need to balance out the sun and the moon. The sun is even personified as a man in the Bible, and the moon is personified as a woman, and that is a just balance, right? So in the kingdom of heaven, it's not like you're just going to have no moon and no nighttime. All right, let's get that in Ecclesiastes. Actually, let's go to another precept, right? I want to go to the book of Song of Solomon, right? Let's go to Song of Solomon, the 2nd chapter. What does the Lord mean that there will be no night in the kingdom of heaven? Because right now is nighttime. Right now is night. You can't tell it's nighttime. You can't tell the massive darkness on the earth. You can't tell the amount of lies and philosophies and wickedness and evil that is promoted on a massive level. There is no light. When you read Proverbs chapter 6 and 23, it says, for the commandment is a lamp, and the law is a light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life. So if the law isn't being enforced in a particular society, that means the light is not being enforced. And if the light isn't being enforced, then you have nothing but nighttime. And that's what you find yourself living in. I don't care if it's 85 degrees and a so-called white man say it's going to be sunny with no clouds. It is still nighttime on a biblical spiritual level, right? And I want to get a precept. Let's go to the book of Song of Solomon, chapter. Let's see if this is what I want. All right, I'll read this. This Song of Solomon, chapter 2 and 10. It reads, my beloved spake and said unto me, rise up, my love, my fair one, and come away. For lo, the winter is past, the rain is over and gone. The flowers appear on the earth, the time of the singing of the birds is come, and the voice of the turtle is heard in our land. So the Lord calls the time you're living in the wintertime as well. And what happens in the wintertime? The days become shorter and the nights grow longer, right? And darkness rules and prevails for the majority of the day. All right. The sun may set around 4:30, 5 o'clock, and you have nothing but darkness for the rest of the day. And that's what's happening in these last days. Darkness is prevailing over the daytime. Spiritually, right? Evil, Christianity, democracy, politics, Islam is one of the top religions. All of that is symbolic for the spiritual wintertime, right? In the spiritual wintertime, there's no life. There's no trees being brought up. There's no fruit on the trees. There's no leaves. There's no life. There's no vegetation. There's no birds and butterflies and bees and bears coming out, and everything's dead and dormant and silent. And that's how it is in the days you live in. But in the kingdom of heaven, there's not going to be a wintertime. There's not going to be a nighttime or a rainy season. All right. The wintertime represents the time of darkness. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 25, where the nighttime represents the period of darkness. It's Isaiah chapter 25 and verse 7. Another precept on that. Isaiah chapter 25 and 7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. So the Lord said he would destroy in this mountain, meaning in Babylon the Great. A mountain is a large kingdom in the Bible, and a hill is referred to as a smaller kingdom in the Bible. So in the scriptures, it says, and he would destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. Because the so-called white man, using Babylon the Great as their headquarters, has put all the other nations in a nighttime. Right? That's why in Daniel chapter 7 and 25, it says he should change times and laws. Paraphrasing. Right? And that's what this devil did, man. At one point in time, the sun was out. At one point in time, Yahweh Shah walked the earth and a light was manifest. The Romans crucified Yahweh Shah, and the so-called white man plunged the earth into a state of nighttime until the Lord returns. You know? So there's a veil spread over all nations. There's darkness promoted throughout all the earth. Nobody knows their nationality. Nobody understands the will of the Most High. Not one nation. You can travel to every nation, so-called geopolitical country on the earth, and they have no knowledge of the Most High. Nobody knows the name of the Lord. Nobody knows Yahweh Shah's name. You have people worshiping idols. You got East Indians putting feces on their body. You got Moabites, eating all types of unclean foods. You got all hell breaking loose. Right? You're living in the nighttime when you can't see, and there's no light. So you understand. I wanted to get another precept in Job, right before we move on to Revelation. Let's go to Job chapter 10. Why do you think the people are stumbling? Why do you think the people are falling into these ditches and these deep doctrines? And they're asleep, and they have a hard time waking up. It's easy to fall asleep at nighttime. Your body is conditioned to go to sleep when it's nighttime. It's hard really to take that deep sleep when the sun is beaming on your face, man. You know, it's hard to kind of get comfortable, right? You're sweating and the sun beaming and it's in your eyes, and you're trying to block and put the cover over your head or the pillow, whatever. But when it's nighttime, it's easy to go to sleep, and it's easy to stay asleep. That's why people can't get the truth, man. Right? You try to break it down to them, and they bugging out. Right? Let's go to Job chapter 10 and verse 21. Right? This is the book of Job, chapter 10 to 21. Before I go whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death. And this is talking about America. America's the land of darkness. America's the shadow of death. A land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death, without any order, and where the light is as darkness. You see that? So let's go back to Revelation chapter 22. Right? So the light is as darkness here, man. Right? Revelation chapter 22 and verse 5. It reads, and this is speaking about the kingdom of heaven. All right? Revelation 22 and 5. And there shall be no night there. So I can bear with me. It reads, And they need no candle, neither light of the sun. For the Lord God giveth them light, and they shall reign forever and ever. So what does it mean when it says we don't need the light of the sun? We're literally still going to have the sun, just like we're still going to have this, the actual moon. And the stars aren't going nowhere anytime soon. So when the Most High says we're not going to need the sun, it's speaking about the knowledge of the Most High that we get strictly from handling the Bible and from being taught, right? We're not going to have Bibles in the kingdom of heaven. We're not going to have to walk around and do videos and lessons. We're going to have it in our inward parts. The Lord is the true light that's going to shine within us. And we don't need these things, man. Right? Right now, it says the Lord is the light. It's like here in Proverbs 6:23, the commandment is a lamp and the law is light. Right now, we need to walk around with that candle. Right? We need to let our light shine. Right? And we have to bring the people out of darkness. But in the kingdom of heaven, the Most High, he's that perpetual light that's going to shine through us, and we don't need the candle anymore. You understand? We don't need to enforce works and try to keep the law, because it's going to be automatically within us due to the light of Yahweh Shai radiating through the elect. All right, that's what this means when it says, and they need no candle, neither light of the sun, for the Lord God giveth them light, and they shall reign forever and ever. All right, I want to get a precept on that. Let's go to the book of Psalms, right? I believe this is what I want. Let's get a precept on that. Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 36 and 8. I'll read 9. Psalms chapter 36 and 9. For with thee is the fountain of life, and thy light shall we see light. You see that? In thy light shall we see light. Meaning in Yahweh Shai, that is the true light that shineth in the world. Right? That's all you need, man. When Yahweh Shai entered into the world in John chapter 8 and 12, what did he say? Right? Let's go to John chapter 8 and 12. Right? John chapter 8 and 12. Then spake Yahweh Shai again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. So if Yahweh Shai is back on the earth and the kingdom of heaven is being established, that true light is going to be made manifest. You understand? And the Lord is going to rule the earth. And he's going to have the elect in order. He's going to set up the 12 apostles. And they're not going to walk around with Bibles and apocryphers. They're not going to walk around with note cards. They're not going to have to try to remember the precepts. The Lord is that true light. All right. Let's go back to Revelation chapter 22. All right, Revelation 22 and 6. And he said unto me, and let me get this real quick in Revelation 21 and 23. Right? Revelation chapter 21 and 23. It reads, and the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon to shine in it, for the glory of the God did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof. And we're that city. That's what it's talking about, right? Speaking about the elect, because there's literally going to be an actual sun and the moon, but we're the city, right? So when it says, and the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon, meaning we don't have to have external wisdom outside of Yahweh Shai, right? And that really comes to walking around with the Bible, having your apocrypha in your hand, watching the lessons. All of that is the sun and the moon that's shining amongst us in the last days. The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. We're going to have it at its full extent. The sun is not as bright as Yahweh Shai. I'll put it like that. Right? The sun is light and it's bright, but is it on the level of Yahweh Shai? No, not close. It's not even cutting it, man. Yeah, the sun can penetrate the night and the darkness, but never like Yahweh Shai. And you have to equate that on a spiritual level and dealing with the knowledge and wisdom of the Most High. So the knowledge and the wisdom that we have is compared to the sun and the moon. You understand? Which are the lights that govern the world. But when Yahweh Shai is put back in his proper seat and his throne, that light is going to excel and far beyond exceed the light that we're using right now. So in the kingdom of heaven, when Yahweh Shah's kingdom is manifest and we're joint heirs, the knowledge and wisdom that we have right now to teach our people and bring them out of darkness is going to be no longer needed, because Yahweh Shah is going to put those laws within our inward parts and give us that spirit to be, for lack of better terms, have that full brightness, right? That's the best way I can put it, through the spirit. All right, so let's read on to Revelation 22. Revelation chapter 22 and 6. And he said unto me, these sayings are faithful and true. And the Lord God of the holy prophets sent his angel to show unto his servants the things which must shortly be done. Behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book. And you got to keep the sayings of the prophecy of this book, man. Right? You can't just listen to the prophecies, listen to the breakdowns, try to get the understanding, and let it go on one ear and not the other. Or you can't just try to go acquire knowledge, you understand, and just forget about it and don't review your notes and you don't meditate on the word. You can't be that type of brother, man. Any prophecy that's being manifest and expounded upon, you have to keep that with you. When we talk about Jacob's trouble and the hour of temptation, that's something that you should be meditating on and keeping with you. When we speak about the prophecies in Matthew 24, Luke chapter 21, St. Mark chapter 13, 2nd Ezra chapter 15, 2nd Ezra chapter 16, 2nd Ezra chapter 5, 2nd Ezra chapter 9, and Jeremiah 36 on down, Daniel 12 and 1. These different prophecies, you got to keep them, man. Right? Doesn't mean you walk around with them on a physical sheet of paper, kind of hold it like a schoolgirl. No, meaning you keep it in your mind and you're meditating on it. All right, and then you become blessed. A lot of these people, you meet them around the world and you ask them how they feel. Oh, I'm blessed. Right? They walking around, they might have found $10 in their pocket, you know. Now they're blessed. They might have, got that parking spot in front of their job that they've always wanted. Somebody used to get it. They're not used to getting it. They always come late. They finally got it, but now they're blessed. Is that what it means? Is that what it means to truly be blessed? When pastor call your name in church and say he wants you to come up, he ain't call nobody else, but you were chosen that day by the pastor. Is that what it means to be blessed? No, that's not what it's talking about. How are you blessed according to Yahweh Shah? It says, behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book. And that's not just Revelation. It's this entire Bible. Right? A lot of people, like the Lord said in James, right? Let me get that precept real quick in James chapter 1. A lot of people are just hearers of the word and not doers. Right? Let's go to James, the first chapter. It's the book of James, chapter 1 and 22. But be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. See that? You can't just be a doer of the word. It's like you can't just be a hearer of the word. Oh, that sounds good. Oh, that's deep. Yeah, that makes sense. Then you go about being a nigga, man, after the breakdown. And go back and doing what you was doing. God knows what you was doing, but you go back and do it, man. No, you got to hear it and you got to keep it and you got to apply it. It's a step-by-step process. You do that with any practical knowledge or information being expounded or taught to you. You listen to it, you perceive it, you keep it in your mind, and you take that knowledge and you apply it and make it manifest to bring about your salvation through faith. That's what this thing is about. So let's go back to Revelation chapter 22. All right. In Revelation 22, you got to keep these prophecies. In Revelation 1 and 3, you're blessed when you read and keep the prophecies. It was mentioned twice. Right? Revelation chapter 22 and 8. And I, John, saw these things and heard them. And when I heard and seen, I fell down to worship before the feet of the angel which showed me these things. And he said, then said he unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren, the prophets, and of them which keep the sayings of this book, worship the Most High. Because you can't bow down to an angel, right? Now the angel, he's going to tell you, hey, get up, right? Look, I'm just like you. I'm your brothers. Because the angels, believe it or not, Those are your celestial brothers. That's the just balance. You have your brethren on the earth, and you have your brethren in the heavens. You have the Kodashim or the saints on the earth. You have the saints in the heavens. You have a throne in the heavens. You got a throne on the earth. You got an altar of incense in the heavens. You have an altar of incense in the earth. Did not the Lord, when you read Hebrews 8 and 5, Ezekiel 25, 7 on down, the Lord told Moses, make a pattern of everything he's seen in the mount. So everything that's playing out on this terrestrial level has already played out on the celestial level. So the angels are your brethren, and they refuse to let you bow down to them. Right? Now I want to get this precept. That's why even in the book of Judges, right, when Samson's parents wanted to do an offering unto the angel, what did the angel say? Right? This is the book of Judges, chapter 13 and verse 15. It reads, and Manoah, Judges 13 and 15. So this after the angel broke down to Manoah and his wife how to deal with Samson being raised up from the womb. And Manoah said unto the angel of the Lord, I pray thee, let us detain thee until we shall have made ready a kid for thee. Right? Salakia. And the angel of the Lord, Salakia, bear with me. And the angel of the Lord said unto Manoah, though thou detain me, I will not eat of thy bread. And if thou wilt offer a burnt offering, thou must offer it unto the Lord. For Manoah knew not that he was an angel of the Lord. You see that? So the angels don't sit there, and you can't just do a burnt offering to the angel, and the angel said, he kind of take credit for that and kind of smell it and say, that's a sweet savor. And he say, all praises. Right? And then you do a burnt offering to the angel. No, that's not how it works, man. It's not Catholicism. You can pray to Michael the Archangel. They do that in the Roman Catholic Church. Right? You can pray to Michael. So I can bear with me. Right? Yeah, in the damn church, you can pray to Michael the Archangel. You can pray to Gabriel. You can pray to Uriel. You can do all of that madness, man. Right? People sitting there and engaging in all types of folly. I'm praying to Saint Ignatius. I'm praying to the angel. What's that angel? The angel Phanuel to bring about. No, you can't do that, man. The angel said, if you want to offer anything, you better offer it to the Lord. Right? That's how, and let's read on. And we got to learn from that. You got to learn from the angels. These angels are messengers of the Lord. And if you're a man and you're a messenger of the Lord, you got to move like these angels. You got people that want to give you credit and say, no, look, hey, that's to the Lord. If you want to thank anybody, you better thank Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. You got people, they might do a lesson, do a video. Somebody say, you brought it out. What does that brother say? Yeah, I brought it out. Hey, look, I did my thing. I've been studying for 5 hours, man, to bring out that lesson. Hey, it is what it is, man. I hope you took notes. That's off, man. Hey, look, all praise to the Most High. Right? Call Lord Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. You got to keep it moving, man. That's how the angels move. Right? Let me read that again. Judges chapter 13 and 16. And the angel of the Lord said unto Manoah, though thou detain me, I will not eat of thy bread. And if thou wilt offer a burnt offering, thou must offer it unto the Lord. For Manoah knew not that he was an angel of the Lord. And Manoah said unto the angel of the Lord, what is thy name? That when thy sayings come to pass, we may do thee honor. So he's not getting it. A lot of times our people don't get it. The angel just straight up told him, if you want to offer anything, offer it up to the Lord. Now Manoah said, well, we want to Slack. Now Manoah said, well, look, we just want to, what's your name so I can give you honor? When I pray to the Most High, I can thank this angel. Right? And that's off. Let's see what the angels say. And the angel of the Lord said unto him, why askest thou after Slakia? Why askest thou thus after my name, seeing it a secret? See, that's so the angel said, don't even worry about my name. That don't matter. That's the last thing you should be worried about. Worry about the message. Don't worry about the messenger, man. Stop praising the messenger. Just apply the message. Just listen to what the Most High told me to tell you. That's all that matters. Make sure Samson and your wife are being raised up according to the decree given to you from the Most High. I'm just a messenger. Why are you asking after my name? It's secret. It don't matter. That's how brothers got to move in this thing, man. We don't matter. We're just messengers. Yeah, people that want to do you honor. And in the book of Acts, chapter 14, I'm about to pull the account. You had these Israelites that wanted to do a burnt offering to Paul and Barnabas. They start bugging the hell out. Let me get that in Acts 14. Right? And you got brothers, they eat that up, man. I guarantee there are brothers in the truth right now. If a brother wanted to do a burnt offering to him, that brother would say, yeah, that smell good. Right? The brother they bringing 1,000 bullocks from the farm and they slaying the bullocks, throwing them on the altar to a mighty man of the Lord, and the man sitting there like this. Yeah, I like that. That smell good. Right? You got brothers that move like that, man. Let me get this precept in Acts 14. Right? This is the book of Acts, chapter 14, and verse, let's see. I believe that's what I want. Salakia. Acts 14 and 8. This is the book of Acts, chapter 14 and 8. And there sat a certain man at Lystra, impotent in his feet, being a cripple from his mother's womb, who never had walked. The same heard Paul speak, who steadfastly beholding him and perceiving that he had faith to be healed, said with a loud voice, stand upright on thy feet. And he leaped and walked. So this man just got up and leaped and walked out of nowhere. He couldn't walk from his womb. Everybody knew this guy. When he came around, he was known for not being able to walk from his womb. He didn't have no freak accident. He didn't get crippled in war. He didn't fall off a ladder. He was born like that from the womb, right? And that's a good precept from Josiah in Exodus 22 and 20. He that sacrificeth unto any god, save the Lord only, he shall be utterly destroyed, right? And we're gods, pursuing the Psalms 82 and 6 on down, John 10:34, right? The angels are gods, right? The Allahayim, their powers, right? So let's read on. So this man just leaped up and walked, right? Judges chapter 14 and verse 11. And when the people saw what Paul had done, they lifted up their voices, saying in the speech of Lycaonia, the gods are come down to us in the likeness of men. And when they called Barnabas Jupiter and Paul Mercurius, because he was the chief speaker, then the priest of Jupiter, which was before the city, brought oxen and garlands into the gates, would have done a sacrifice with the people. So now they calling Paul and Barnabas these heathen gods. And now they're bringing all the animals out. They throwing the music, people playing the drums, people blowing the damn saxophone or whatever they got back there in the pipe, and they about to slay these oxen and offer them up to Paul and Barnabas, right? Which when the apostles Barnabas and Paul heard of, they rent their clothes and ran in among the people, crying out and saying, sirs, why do ye these things? We also are men. They say, look, we just men, right? Of like passions with you. Meaning we use the bathroom like you. Hey, look, we enjoy having a good time. You know what I'm saying? We get sad like you. Well, we're just like men. You don't have to offer things unto us. We're not gods, right? And preach unto you that ye should turn from these vanities into the living God, which made heaven and earth and the sea and all things that are therein. You see that? So that's the spirit that you want to be in, man. Right? That's the spirit that you definitely want to be in. So I want to get this precept, right? Another precept real quick. You want to be in that humble spirit. This is the book of Acts 28 and 6, right? This after Paul got bitten by a serpent, a venomous serpent, and he kind of threw the beast in the fire, right? Acts 28:6. Howbeit they looked when he should have swollen or fallen down dead suddenly. But after that, after they had looked a great while and saw no harm come to him, they changed their minds and said that he was a god. So Paul, they kept walking around saying that he was a god. The people, right? Claiming to say this man is more than what he was. But Paul was a very humble man, and he didn't acquire that honor and take it upon himself. All that honor and esteem went to the Most High, right? And we're going to pick back up, Most High willing, the Monday fire next Monday, right? The Spirit didn't have it go this week or the week before, right? But Most High willing, we're going to pick back up the Monday night fire next week, Lord willing, right? So let's continue in Revelation chapter 22, right? So we're back in Revelation chapter 22 and verse, I'll read 9 again. So John went to bow down to this angel. That's what the angel said. Revelation 22:9. Then said he unto me, see thou do it not, for I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren, the prophets, and of them which keep the sayings of this book, worship the Most High. And he said unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. What does that mean, seal not the sayings of this book? Meaning the knowledge and information that the Most High has kept secret from the foundation of the world is now made manifest to the saints. The breakdowns, the understanding, the parables, the riddles, the secrets. At one point in time, it was sealed, right? Moses wasn't breaking down the 7 heads and 10 horns, right? John the Revelator didn't even understand who the woman was and who this beast was with 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon, and Daniel received visions and he didn't know. Daniel got sick and he said, I saw the vision, but I really didn't understand it. Even Ezra himself, when he saw the vision in 2nd Ezra 11 with the eagle and a lion, he started fainting and passing out. He didn't know there was a time on the earth when information and knowledge was cut off from the men of the Lord. But now it is sealed. And now man has access through the Holy Spirit to receive the knowledge and understanding. All right, let's go to Daniel chapter 12. All right, let's get a precept on that. Let's go to the book of Daniel chapter 12 and verse 4. Right, this is the book of Daniel chapter 12 and 4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. See that? So the Lord told Daniel, shut the book and seal it. So if it's sealed by the Lord, you can't open it. There was a time like in the 1400s, 1500s, 1600s. Yeah, you got men like Nat Turner. He was opening up the Bible. He was going to Psalms 149, and he was figuring out. But Nat Turner wasn't breaking down Genesis 49. Nat Turner, he wasn't diving into the book of Zechariah. He wasn't going into Ezekiel. He wasn't going into these things, right? He wasn't even going to Deuteronomy 28, right? A lot of these breakdowns and understanding is going to be given as time progresses and the seals are being opened. You understand? That's why you have the truth being compared to living waters, right? Let's get that in Ezekiel chapter 47, right? Let's go to this in Ezekiel chapter 47. Waters don't rise like instantaneously. It takes time for waters to rise. Well, if you run in the bath or you run in the pool, right? That water doesn't just come to the top in a second. It takes time. Sometimes, you run in that pool water, you put it in there and it takes time, man. 10 minutes, 15, maybe a half an hour, And the Lord compares that time of progression, that water rising, to this truth and the knowledge thereof. So as time progresses, more prophecies and understanding increase, just like water rises. Let's get that in Ezekiel chapter 47 and verse 1, right? Ezekiel chapter 47 and 1. It reads, afterward, he brought me again unto the door of the house, and behold, Salakia. And behold, waters. Salakia, bear with me 1 second. So this is Ezekiel 47:1. Afterward, he brought me again into the door of the house, and behold, waters issued out from under the threshold of the house eastward. So waters are coming eastward. That's all spiritual, right? From under the threshold of the house, right? Reading on. For the forefront of the house stood toward the east, and the waters came down from under the right side of the house at the south side of the altar. So the right side of the house, the same thing as what you read about in Revelation chapter 22, verses 1 and 2. It's not literal waters of the water coming out of the house, but it's spiritual waters. Salakia. These are spiritual waters coming out from the right side, right? Because Yahweh sits on the right-hand side of the Most High. Verse 2. Then brought he me out of the way of the gate northward, and led me about the way without unto the utter gate, by the way that looketh eastward. And behold, there ran out waters on the right side. And these waters are still flowing. This is the longest running flood documented and human history. It's not on the news. Nobody's talking about it. A plumber can't come fix it. You can't patch it up and seal it off and do some damn work, right? The damn Flex Seal from the commercial. You can't put the Flex Seal and try to stop the waters from flowing. This is the longest running flood. And it's a leak. It's a perpetual leak until the kingdom of heaven is established. Right? So let's read on. Verse 3. Ezekiel chapter 47:3. And when the man that had the line in his hand went forth eastward, he measured 1,000 cubits, and he brought me through the waters. The waters were to the ankles. So as time progresses, the waters rise. As time progresses, the knowledge increases, right? So at one point in time, the water was to the ankles, right? I mean, and there was a time where men didn't really have all of the understanding back then, right? You have ancient elder men like Abba Bivens. You had men before that and men before that. I even brought up men like Nat Turner and other men, because there was always a man on the earth who pretty much, he might have known some Hebrew. He might have known that he was Israel, because our forefathers that came over here on ships, a lot of them knew that they were Israelites, right? But they didn't have all of the understanding. But as time progresses, the knowledge increases. There was a time on the earth when men only dealt with the Old Testament, right? Yeah, like people, I'm not going to go too deep into that, but you have certain groups and factions, they only dealt with the Old Testament. They didn't even believe in the New Testament. Then men incorporated the New Testament, and they still knew that they were Israel. Then men, the Spirit had men through visions and dreams had a 12 tribes chart be manifest. Then brothers in process of time understood now who these Gentiles are, right? Who Cornelius is, and other understanding came out, and other breakdowns, and more mysteries, and more secrets, and second Esdras, and all these things happen in process of time. But during the time Ezekiel is talking about, it's only to the waters. I mean, to the ankles. So Ezekiel chapter 47 and verse 4. Again, he measured 1,000, meaning as time progresses, and brought me through the waters. The waters were to the knees. Again, he measured 1,000 and brought me through the waters. Where it's like it, and brought me through the waters were to the loins. So they went from the ankles to the knees to the loins, right? Afterward, he measured 1,000, and it was a river that I could not pass over, for the waters were risen, waters to swim in, a river that cannot be passed over. Then he said unto me, Son of man, hast thou seen this? Then he brought me and caused me to return to the brink of the river. Right? You see that? So the Lord has these living waters rise and increase and increase and increase and increase. All right? You can't get around that. Now the waters are something that you living in now that you look. It's so deep, you'll drown in these waters. There's so much information, so many breakdowns, so much understanding. Brothers going into the Hebrew, Greek, going into the theological terms, going into the mysteries, the riddles. You can swim in these waters. You see that? You can dive and swim in these things, man. Right? You don't need a life vest. You don't need to take a class. Right? You don't have to sit there free, like doggy paddle. No, you just dive in these things, man. All right. That's why Revelation chapter 22, it says, seal not the sayings of this book, because the waters have risen. All right, the waters are open, man. Right? Let's go back to that in Revelation chapter 22. All right. And that's an actual flood. Like we would like to bring out, that is a flood of living waters. The Lord destroyed the earth with a flood thousands and thousands of years ago. Now the Lord is also saving the earth by a flood, meaning he's saving the elect by a flood. So that flood of waters played out at one time on a physical level. That flood of waters is playing out on a spiritual level. And we're able to dive in these waters. Not like the time of Noah, when that was a harmful, painful death. Right? And you beating and you trying to get in the ark and you're trying to knock and let me in, and only 8 souls were saved. It went from 8 souls being saved and waters destroying everybody. Now you got 1/3 of the sons of God, the Israelites, can dive in these waters and receive them and be saved. Right? And these waters are deep to swim in. Right? I don't know how to swim in real life, but I can swim in these living waters, man. And that same thing applies to all of our men, you know? And that's what brothers spend the majority of their time. A lot of brothers want to go to the beach. I want to go, hey, I want to go to this pool. Hey, brother, I want to go in the waters, man. You know? So let's go back to Revelation chapter 22, right? Let's read that again. Revelation chapter 22 and 10. And he saith unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. And the time is at hand, man. Right? The time is at hand. A lot of pastors, when you ask them certain breakdowns, oh, it's sealed. I don't get it. Right? It's not time for that understanding to come out. Let's go to the book of 2 Peter, right? Chapter 1. Right? Let's get a precept on that. 2 Peter chapter 1 and 19. Right? Let's go to 2 Peter chapter 1 and 19. It reads, we have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye do well that ye take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place, until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts. See that? It says we have a more sure word of prophecy. What does that mean, we have a more sure word of prophecy? It means that we are more, how do we put this? We're more certain of the breakdowns than a generation was before us. In the 80s, we have more understanding than the men that came into the truth in the 80s and the 70s. That's not being proud. We've learned from those men, but the Most High gives us understanding too as time progresses that they weren't able to receive. Just like men that was in the truth in the 90s, the Most High dealt with them on a level, and they may have learned more and received more through the Spirit than the men that were before them. They learned from those men, but as time progresses, even brothers that come in the truth, as time progresses, they're going to have more understanding and receive secrets and revelations that brothers that we may not be able to receive. But we have to grow and learn in this thing, right? And that's just how the Most High works, man. Where a brother may bring out something, not everybody is going to know completely everything. That's why these living waters rise. All right. So if you want to keep and hold on to what you learned in 1987 as the complete truth, you don't want to, get with the times, you're going to be stuck in the past, man. You're still going to be believing Cornelius is an Edomite. You still might believe that the Gentiles and the New Testament to be saved are actual heathen. You might believe in Revelation 17 that that's the Vatican Church. Or I'm not sure what people believed in back then, right? But as time progresses, we have a more sure word of prophecy, right? There are certain breakdowns that it would be literally impossible to break down in the 1700s, 1800s, 1900s, early 1900s. It would be impossible because you're speaking about ICBM missiles. John the Revelator, he's describing ICBM missiles. John the Revelator is describing war helicopters. He's describing the torpedoes, all the smoke and the brimstone. He's describing a lake of fire and Malachi 4:1. He's saying the day is going to be like you burning in an oven. How can you break that stuff down if you don't understand the technology that man has for these prophecies to make sense? So it's only right that as time progresses and as the days prolonged in captivity, we begin to acquire a more sure word of prophecy. All right. There's no way you can break down, like the brother said, Babylon the Great. There's no way you can break down Babylon the Great is America until damn America is exposed for their wickedness. So we have a more sure word of prophecy. There's no way somebody in 1950 would be able to go to Revelation and break down the 7 heads and 10 horns if that's America. It would be impossible. But as time progresses and the Most High pull back the skirt of the system, and as that knowledge increases, you'll be able to go into these breakdowns, right? So let's read that again. 2 Peter chapter 1 and 19. It reads, we have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye do well that ye take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place, until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts. You see that? So we're approaching the end of this tunnel. And as we take our steps towards the end of this tunnel, we're going to see light abound more and more and more. And that's in real life. If you're a miner, or if you get stuck in some tunnel under some bridge and you're in mass darkness, the closer you get to the exit, the greater the light becomes. Everybody knows that. And so shall it be in these last days. Well, at one point in time, we were in complete darkness. But the more steps we take towards the exit, meaning on a spiritual level, the more steps we take towards Yahweh Shah, and as time progresses, the greater the light becomes. What is the light? The understanding, the knowledge, the wisdom. So as we approach the end of this kingdom, wisdom is only going to increase more and more and more because we're taking these steps to come out of darkness. Until the day, all the way until the day dawn, all the way until it's no longer nighttime, all the way until the sun is rising and it shines in our mind. Right? Let's go to the book of Proverbs chapter 4. Right? So this is all the way until the day dawn, and the day is yet to dawn. Right? The day has yet to dawn. You may have seen it when you want to watch the sunrise. You might have took your auntie, your auntie might have took you out somewhere and you might have saw the sunrise and you see that, baby. No, that's not the true dawn. The true dawn is when what? Yahweh Shai is manifest. And dawn, let's just look up the word dawn, because 2 Peter chapter 1 used the word to the day dawn and the day star rise in your hearts. So dawn definition, right? You can look it up on your own, right? The first appearance of light in the sky before sunrise, right? The beginning of a phenomenon or a period of time, especially one considered favorable. And they use that. And here's the example they use. The dawn of civilization. People say stuff like that. That's a famous saying. Like the dawn of civilization, the dawn of the American Empire, meaning the beginning of their kingdom. Right? Civilization, for lack of better terms, according to this mass system, is light coming out of darkness. Right? So when the Lord said to the day dawn, it's really the dawning of Jacob coming into power and Esau being taken down. It's really going into Yahweh Shai taking his system down and destroying the beast. It is the dawning of the kingdom of heaven. That's an example people use in the world all the time. So when the Lord said unto the day dawn, is really going into the transition, the immediate transition from nighttime and then to daytime. Right? That's what the Lord said in Proverbs. I'm thinking of a good amount of precepts, but I wanted to get this first in Proverbs chapter 4. right? Let's go to Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 14. I'll start at 14, right? This Proverbs chapter 4 and 14. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men. Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness, and drink the wine of violence. But the path of the just, and who's the just? The elect. Most High willing, we are the elect, right? We don't really know if we're the elect or not, but we're trying to be as diligent as we can to make our calling and election sure, right? So it says, but the path of the just is as the shining light that shineth more and more unto the perfect day. So the light, like you got them dimmers in your crib, in your house, kind of turn the dimmer on, kind of get brighter, turn it up brighter, turn it up brighter. And that's how it is in this truth. You can kind of dim it down. The Lord said our path and our steps that we take in Yahweh Shai are becoming brighter and brighter and brighter until the perfect day, right? So let's go back to Revelation chapter 22, right? Back to Revelation, the 22nd chapter, right? Revelation, again, this is a continuation of the Revelation 22 breakdown I was yet to able to finish through the Spirit. Proverbs chapter 22 and 10. And he saith unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. And there's another precept real quick I just thought of through the Spirit. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 19. I'll start at 18. Right? The Lord said, seal not the sayings of this book, for the time is at hand. Another precept, 2nd Ezra in the Apocrypha, chapter 6 and verse 18. It reads, and it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. And that's Yahweh Shah. He's going to visit us that dwell on the earth. The days are here, right? And it's not talking about he's going to visit you and play Scrabble with you. And the Lord, you got to keep picking up the blocks and he's trying to make the word. And the Lord going to the Hebrew, but the board game in the English. And the Lord kind of get mad. And then the Lord, no, it's not what it's talking about. When it says the Lord is going to come visit us, it's talking about with judgment. Why do you think there's destruction on the earth and wars and Russia threatening America and China threatening America and America crumbling and damn UFO sightings that man can't perceive? The Israelites are waking up. The kingdom is going down to the heathen. And you got all hell is breaking loose. That's the Lord visiting the earth. Let's read on. And I will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. So this world is vanishing away, and the Lord is showing his tokens. Then, meaning the signs, right? The prophecies and the signs of the end of the time, they're being made manifest. Then will I show these tokens. The books shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. See that the book shall be opened before the firmament. On one level, it's speaking about all of the books that were sealed, understanding the prophecies, and the elect are seeing it all together. Right? So Revelation 22 and 11, right? Going back to Revelation, the 22nd chapter and 11th verse. So like you bear with me. Revelation chapter 22 and 11. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. So what does that sound? You can't save everybody. The days are coming when you're going to have to make that judgment call that, look, hey, this person's not going to get it. The days are coming when you have to sit there and come to grips with reality, man. And sit there and your grandmother, she's not going to get it. Stop crying. Stop sitting there. Oh no, my grandmother, she's not gonna get it. You pulling up to church Sunday, every Sunday you pulling up, right? You waiting for her to come out of church so you can break down Deuteronomy 28 to her. She keeps scoffing. You're doing it every Sunday. You're wasting your gas money. Her church 45 minutes away. Hey, look, brother, she's not getting it. Not everybody's going to understand the truth. And you know, that's a tough pill to swallow for a lot of people. That's a reality check for a lot of people. They, you know, they believe everybody can get it. No, only the 1/3 are going to get it. Right? Only the elect. So what is the Lord saying? Last book, last chapter. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. Meaning we in the days where if you're not getting it and we spending a good amount of time breaking it down to you, look, we're going to move on. All right, we're going to move on. We're not sitting around trying to break this truth down to you for 4 hours. If you don't get it, you want to be filthy, we're going to let you be filthy. If you want to go and smoke crack, you can go and smoke crack. We're going to serve the Lord. The time is at hand. All hell is about to break loose. I don't have time to be sitting around breaking the scriptures down to somebody's old nasty uncle for 3 hours on the phone. And he's scoffing and he's railing and he's saying, that's the white man's book. Hey, guess what? You can go believe that. Right? Didn't the Lord say in Titus, let's go to Titus chapter 3. Right? Let's go to Titus chapter 3. That's what the Lord said. He that is filthy, let him be filthy still. The Lord didn't say clean him up. Oh, he's filthy. Do your best to clean that man up because all hell is breaking loose. Now you break it down to them. If they don't get it, hey, look, you just pray for them and you keep it moving. Right? And hopefully if they bring it up again, then you could talk about it. That's how I move through the spirit. I'm not breaking my back when I broke it down to you 3 times already, maybe twice, right? If you don't get it, you don't get it. I'm not going to bring it up again. I'll talk about it. If you bring it up, if the spirit hop on you and have you bring it up, then we'll talk about it. I keep you in my prayers. Hey, look, it is what it is, right? A lot of brothers, that's mean. That's mean. Why are you not going to teach them till the chariot come? Brother, you go ahead. You can do that, brother. You keep teaching them and the chariot come and you done damn, you had time to get yourself together. Right? This is the book of Titus. I want to get this quick precept. Right? This is the book of Titus chapter 3. Right? Titus chapter 3 and 10. A heretic after the first and second admonition reject. So if you got a heretic, meaning somebody they don't believe in the Bible, heresy. They can be into Christianity. They can be into Catholicism. They can be into ancient Kemet science. They can be into the Moorish science temple. They can be into Buddhism. They can be into Taoism. They can be into New Age philosophy. They can be into anything. The Lord said, as Titus chapter 3 and 10, a man that it can be your auntie, it can be your grandmother, your uncle, your cousin, your best friend, your co-worker, a man that is a heretic after the first and second admonition, meaning you warn him once, then you warn him twice. The Lord said, reject. You don't got to deal with him no more. It is what it is. Why is that written? Right? Because Jake, you love your people so much. You care about them too much. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the Lord is letting you know that, hey, look, there's a limit to this thing. Because you'll wear yourself out. You'll be crying all night and stressing out and trying to come up with new lessons. And in your own head, did I break it down right to him? Did I really bring it out? Maybe it's my fault. Maybe this truth isn't for me. Right? A brother hit me up and said, I haven't won any souls. Is this truth really for me? Because the brother, he breaking it down to people, they're not getting it over and over. I said, brother, not everybody's going to get it. Right? If the Lord is going to bring the people in that he wants them to come in. All right? Like the Malachi Berry said, facts, this truth ain't for everybody. And it's not. And guess what? It is, they got to deal with it. There's people out and my so-called family, I already know they're not getting it. We broke it down to them. They're not getting it. I got an older brother. He's not getting it. Right? My mother, she's not getting it. Now the Lord can do what he want to do. But as of now, they're not getting it. My grandmother is lights out. My grandfather, it's over with. My other grandfather is over with. Right? My auntie's, it's over. My cousin, it's over. Guess what? I sleep well at night. Right? Because you got to apply these scriptures. I'm not tossing and turning in the middle of the night. I'm not getting it. It says, after the first and second admonition, reject. Right? So you got one and twice. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 14 and 28. Now you know your limit, Israel. Right? Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and 28. Right? Now you can go 3 times if you want to. Right? You know, you're going to wear yourself out. But really, you know, the minimum is 2. 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and 28. You kind of getting the blood off your hands anyway. Right? 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and let me get straight to the point. Salakia. But if Salakia, 1 Corinthians 14 and 38. But if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant. That's plain. If any brother want to be ignorant, just let him be ignorant. If they want to sit there, you breaking the word down to them and they smoking the damn blunt, blowing it in your face. So I don't believe that white man's book. You don't have to sit there. You break it down to them and say, look, it's not a white man's book. You know, you open up the Bible, you show them the scriptures, and you make it plain. They hit the blunt again. Man, that's a white man's book. And you kind of go in the game, you say, hold on, let me show you in Deuteronomy 28. You say, we see nationality. You break it down to them. They sit there, they hit the blood one more time, kind of ash it, and say, man, I don't believe in that. Guess what you do? You do this. Close your book. You say, all right, and you keep it moving. You get in your car, or whatever you're doing, you turn the damn things on. You roll your window down. You get you some air. You kind of peel off and go home. Right? You don't have to sit there. You let him be ignorant, man. If any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant. That's a lesson too that our people got to learn. Because like I said, our people, we love our people so much. We love our family. You love your cousin, Day and Keisha and Leroy and TT and Tammy and Pookie and Rel. You love them so much. You want them to get the truth. You grew up together. Y'all was playing football and basketball together. The Most High is not the Lord. Jeremiah chapter 3. Or what the Lord say? In Jeremiah chapter 3, man. Right? Go to Jeremiah chapter 3 and 14. What did the Lord say? Let's get a precept on that. Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 14. It reads, turn, O backsliding children, said the Lord, for I am married unto you, and I will take you 1 of a city and 2 of a family, and will bring you to Zion. We got to remember scriptures like this. The Lord is only taking 1 of a city and 2 of a family. So you may have a big family, only maybe 2. It's not, the number don't always have to be literal, but meaning a small remnant of your family is only going to make it. It might just be you. There's plenty of people I know in the truth. They have massive families, and they're the only one in the truth. I know people in the truth. They like I said, there's one brother, his father tried to stab him. Right? He broke the truth down to his family and told him that Yahweh Shah is a so-called black man. And guess what? His dad tried to stab him when he was walking up the steps, in his back. In his back. All right? So the Lord not dealing with that spirit, man. I want to go back to that. Even Yahweh Shah accepted the fact that some of his brothers didn't believe. You know? And I'm sure everybody can relate to that. So he that is filthy, let him be filthy still. He that is righteous, let him be righteous still. He that is holy, let him be holy still. Because the days are coming where everybody's going to stand in their lot, right? We dealt with a scoffer in Houston last week, if I'm not mistaken. Guess what? We're not going to go try to locate that man and try to break it down to him again. We're not doing that. We're not looking up where this man lives on LinkedIn and Facebook and social media and trying to find his picture and say, hey, Twitter, do your thing. Instagram, do your thing. We're trying to find this guy. Right? Put up his picture, his outfit. You know? We're not following a police report to find that man and breaking the scriptures down to that man. We're not dealing with that, man. And look, it is what it is. Once if somebody's filthy, you let them be filthy. All right? But let's read on. Revelation chapter 22 and verse 12. Right? Revelation chapter 22 and 12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city. So the Lord said he comes quickly. It's one of my favorite verses, and his reward is with him. Meaning the days are becoming shorter. More prophecies are coming to pass. May is over with. Seemed like May just started. Now it's over with. It's damn near June, right? The days are getting shorter. Time is flying. Prophecies are coming to pass. And at any given second, all hell can break loose. That's what Yahweh means when he says, behold, I come quickly and my reward is with me. Right? What is his reward? The kingdom of heaven, immortality, everlasting life, service and handmaids, peace, tranquility, dominion, rulership, sovereignty, complete sovereignty over the world. And the Lord is going to give unto every man according to as his work shall be. Right? Meaning if you are on fire, you're going to get an on fire reward. If you were lukewarm, you're going to get a lukewarm reward. If you were lazy, you're going to get put to death. If you were slothful, you're going to go, the Lord going to cast you out. Right? Whatever you put out, that's what you're going to get. And you don't have a second chance in this truth. You got one life to be on fire before the Lord returns. This is it. This is it. You had your chance in the world to be wicked and to be evil. Now you're in this truth. You living your life for the Lord. And look, this is your only opportunity to run this race and get to the kingdom. It ain't no second chances. It's not like the chairs are going to come destroy everything and then you live your life over again in the world. You get a second chance to get right in the truth again. It's not a video game. You don't get 3 lives. It don't work like that. Last time I checked, I didn't see that in the Bible. You get put to death on Judgment Day and the Lord go back in time just for you to try it all over again. Just for you. No, it don't work like that. The Lord is going to render unto every man according as his work shall be. Right? Let's go to the book of Job, chapter 34 and verse, right? Job chapter 34 and 10, right? Job 34 and 10. It reads, therefore hearken unto me, ye men of understanding. Far be it from God that he should do wickedness, and from the Almighty that he should commit iniquity. For the work of a man shall he render unto him, and cause every man to find according to his ways. That's plain. So whatever man does, that's what you're going to get, man. You might have brothers that have been lukewarm, and guess what? Zalaki, they might have been lukewarm, and they might get beamed up in the chariot, but they might get beamed up halfway and then let back down to the earth. That's a horrible reward. You kind of get beamed up, you rejoice, and you say, Kwame Yashala, all praise to the Most High, but you were lukewarm. So the Lord kind of beamed you back down to the earth. and he slowly lets you down, and you see the missiles coming. You trying to get back to the top. He's trying to fight it, but the pressure of the tractor beam bringing you back down to the earth, and the chariot kind of just duck off and leave you. And guess what? You got to deal with it, because you was lukewarm when it came to the Most High. Now the Most High being lukewarm when it come to you, right? Psalms chapter 62 and verse 11, right? Psalms chapter 62 and verse 11. The Most High hath spoken once, twice have I heard this, that power belongeth unto the Most High. Also unto thee, O Lord, belongeth mercy, for thou renderest to every man according to his work. That's plain. For thou renderest unto every man according to his work. And the Most High is just. Because if you were a brother that was sincere and faithful, it's not like the Most High is going to come and destroy you. The Lord is not some giant from the mountains and some fable where he just come and there's no judgment. There is no discernment. These movies, they come and they're just knocking stuff down and crushing the house, and the people are screaming, they picking up with their hand and eating them. That's not the Lord, man. The Lord set before man plainly what they should do to avoid punishment, and what they should do to receive life. That's written in 2nd Ezra, right? So, man, you've been given the opportunity, and you know better. You know what the Most High requires of you. You know the laws, you know the commandments, so there's no excuse in that day. Even the people who don't know the laws and commandments, more than likely you found out, you know about the Israelites. You might have seen it on the news. You might have ran into a brother, might have friends on, right? You've heard about this thing, man. All right, but let's go back to Revelation 22. See if I can finish this chapter. Right, Revelation chapter 22 and 13. I am Alpha and Omega, right? When you go to the Greek, that's the first letter in the Greek and the last letter in the Greek. In the Hebrew, that would be the A, that would be the Tha, right? Be the first and the last. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. You understand? The first Adam, the last Adam, the first spirit created to give life, the first spirit coming to destroy the earth in the last days. So the first and the last goes many ways, right? Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have rights to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city. So you have to keep the commandments plain upon tables. For without, meaning the people that are outside the kingdom of heaven, are going to be dogs. They're going to be destroyed. What are dogs? Heathen, right? Wicked Jake, and sorcerers, people that practice witchcraft, enchantments, charmers, the diviners, necromancers, warlocks, witches, even rebellion, pursuing the 1 Samuel chapter 15, 23 on down. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness as iniquity and idolatry. So if you're rebelling against the Bible, you have now become a sorcerer. So a lot of scoffers and a lot of people who come up against the scriptures, they are practicing a high level of witchcraft and sorcery, right? Now they can say, well, no, I don't do that. I don't have a cauldron. I don't have a witch hat on in the pot. You don't need that to practice witchcraft. Come out of the so-called white man's world, man. When you got to be an old, nasty white lady putting toads in there, you might put somebody's hair in there. You might put a fox in there, and then it's green and it's bumbling, and they pouring that in and they flying with the brooms. That's not in there, man. Witchcraft is also rebellion, scoffing, scorners. What did the Lord say about witches in Exodus chapter 22, right? It's the book of Exodus, chapter 22, and verse 18. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. That's plain. I mean, if there's a witch around, put her to death, right? So let's go back to Revelation chapter 22. These are the people that are not making it to the kingdom. For without are dogs, meaning just beasts, people not applying the law, and sorcerers, and whoremongers. What is whoremongering? When you're having sex with women and women and women and women and women and women and women, making a gain out of it and not marrying those women and making them become whores. Whoremongers, men that deal with other philosophies as well. You're dealing with Islam, Christianity, your own thoughts, your ego, your spirit, chakras, your third eye, damn Buddhism, right? Whatever, you're a free spirit. That's a new thing. A lot of people now are just free spirits, right? Oh, I'm a free. You meet an E. I'm a free spirit. Jake. Oh, I just roll with the spirit, right? I mean, you just do what you want to do. We met a brother like that. He said, "Hey, look, I just do what I want to do." Right? That's being a whore. That's a whoremonger, man. Because philosophies are referred to as women in the Bible. You know. Read Proverbs 2 on down, Proverbs chapter 5. So if you're dealing with these women, you have to become a whoremonger. All right. And murderers, right? A murderer, meaning you are killing somebody, right? Premeditated. And if you hate your brother, you hate your brother, you become a murderer too. Right? Hating your brother is grounds for murder. All right. A lot of brothers don't know that, man. If you hate your brother, you are a murderer. 1 John chapter 3 and 15. Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer. Right? You got brothers that hate brothers in the truth. You got sisters competing with other sisters. I hate that sister because of her hair wrap. I hate that sister because of how she dressed. You a murderer. I hate that brother because he brought it out today. Right? He know more precepts than me. I hate him. You got hatred, then you would be a murderer. Right? You don't have to pick up a physical knife. Right? It says, whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer, and ye know that no murderer hath eternal life abiding in him. Right? So you can't hate your brother in this thing. All right? Like the brother said, strife, envy, spirit of jealousy, spirit of variance, sedition, emulation. Right? You don't want to be that. You want to have them spirits on you. Right? You got brothers that would kill brothers in this truth if they could. Oh, he brought it out. Oh, this brother got this many views. Man, if I had the chance, Most High, please kill this brother so I can take his spot. That's off, man. That's wicked. You got brothers praying for brothers to be destroyed by hurricanes, natural disasters, so-called, for the Most High to do some strange calamity to them, or because they did a great lesson. And, that's off, man. You cannot hate your brother in this thing. I want to do a cold cut on that, man. Just strictly going into that. That's heavy in Israel, right? Let's read on. Revelation chapter 22, right? We read murderers. It says, and idolaters. An idolater is somebody that puts anything above the Most High. That's idolatry. Idolatry can be a statue. It can be a four-leaf clover. It can be money. It can be a job. It can be your wife. It can be your children. It can be weed. It can be clothes. It can be anything. Right? It can be anything. You cannot make and put anything before the Most High. We brought that out in Exodus chapter 22. He that sacrificeth unto any God save the Lord only shall be utterly destroyed. You got to check your spirit and say, do I have any idols? Do I put anything before the Most High? Do I put my favorite TV show before the Most High? Right? Do I put whatever before the Most High? My hobbies, my passions. A lot of brothers, you breaking that first commandment. You don't even know it. Do I put a lot of people, you got a business in this truth. Do you put your business before the Most High? Do you wake up, pray, and read and study, or do you put anything before that? You understand? Do you put anything before you fasting? Do you put anything before you serving the Lord? Right? What are your idols? Cast away your idols. Cast away these things that you are exalting before Yahweh Yahushua, or you will be cut down. Stop thinking just eating pork and shrimp, crab, and lobster are the only sins. You got to check yourself in this thing, man. That's the first commandment. You know, like the brother said, I check my phone sometimes before I pray. Right? See that we got to check that spirit. We got to make sure that we get up in the morning and we praying to Yahweh Yahushua, or Yahweh Ba'ashima Mashiach Yahushua, or Yahweh Ba'ashima Mashiach Ramalak Yahushua. You praying to the Most High, then you check your phone. You wake up, you read, you get in the scriptures, then you handle your business, right? You wake up and you get your reading in or your lesson or whatever. Then you could do what you got to do. Everything comes second to this truth. A lot of people, you make, like I like to say, instead of having your life revolve around the truth, you have the truth kind of revolve around your life. It don't work like that. Right? I'm going to get that because I talked about it. Let's go to Exodus chapter 22. You can't have your life revolve around this truth. Otherwise, you'll try to get the scriptures in whenever you feel like it, whenever you can, whenever you have downtime. It don't work like that. This truth got to be the center and sole focus of your life. This is your life. You don't have a life without this truth. You'll be dead if it wasn't for this truth. This should be the primary focus. Exodus chapter 22 and 20. Let's read it. He that sacrificeth unto any god save unto the Lord only, he shall be utterly destroyed. Right? We don't want brothers to be utterly destroyed in this thing. All right, we ourselves, we don't want to be utterly destroyed in this thing. Right? This is the book. Let's see. I don't have to get that one. Brothers understand. Right? Revelation chapter 22 and 15. For without are dogs, we went over that, and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie, meaning anything outside this truth. Right? Because the opposite of the truth is a lie. Right? We love anything and everything about this truth. You have people that love anything and everything outside of this truth. Verse 16, I, Yahushua, have sent my angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright and morning star. What does it mean he's the root and offspring of David? Right? Meaning Yahushua is Adam, right? Isaac. You understand? He's the root of David. So in a genealogy, you'll find Yahushua, and as you go through that genealogy, you'll find David. And David, through the Spirit, gave birth to Solomon, which was Yahushua. Right? And Yahushua is the son of David, the son of Abraham. So he's the root and the offspring of David and the bright and morning star. We kind of went into that earlier. The morning star is the first sign of light that you see in darkness. If you go outside and you want to look and it's a nice clear night and there's no clouds out there, you can see the morning star. Anybody can see it. It is the brightest star out prior to the sun coming up. So in the days of darkness that we live in, the first light that we're attracted to and that we see is Yahushua, right? And we're going to be given that morning star as well, right? Let's get that in Revelation, the 2nd chapter. This is Revelation chapter 2 and 25. Revelation 2 and 25. It reads, but that which ye have already, so I can hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. So the other nations are going to be broken down in the kingdom of heaven. Nobody's going to be equal. You're literally going to break them down like you would break down a potter's vessel, right? And that means pieces over there and pieces over there. That means people's teeth going to be over here. The ear might be over there. Skull cracked over here, you know? How is everybody equal? How did the Lord come in to love everybody and save everybody if you're going to have people beating people down with rod to iron in the kingdom? I've never seen that. You know, you watch these old TV shows, the Tom and Jerry's, the animated shows, and you know, damn media, everybody in the kingdom of heaven, everybody cooling. You got Tupac and Biggie. You might have Gandhi at the table. They all playing spades, right? Martin Luther King there. He might have Big Joker and a Little Joker, right? Biggie, he got a crown. He always got a crown on his head. Tupac, he's got his bandana on, right? You might have the other table. You might have Maya Angelou, right? You might have what's that? Damn Harriet Tubman at the table, Maya Angelou. You know, you got a long line. You got to wait to get in. And hey, in the kingdom of heaven, last time I checked with Esau's show, nobody's getting beat down with a rod of iron. Everybody playing spades, kicking it, man. In the kingdom of heaven, if these nations get out of line, it's over. It's lights out. Right? But let's read on. I want to get to the point. Revelation chapter 22 and verse 28. And I will give him the morning star. Right? It reads, and I will give him the morning star. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. So if we overcome, we'll be given that morning star. Yahushua is that morning star, the first light that you see out of darkness that brings us to this truth. In a world of sin, and a world of madness and folly and philosophy and iniquity and witchcraft and politics and sorcery and so many blinders in your eyes, the Most High has given us mercy to see the light, to see Yahushua in this darkness. For the kingdom of heaven is exalted, which is parabolic for the sun coming up. We'll be given that morning star, meaning in the kingdom of heaven, we're going to get the nation in order. We're going to get the other heathen in order. And their darkness that they have, they're going to be attracted to that light. And they're going to have to learn the fringes. They're going to have to keep the dietary law. They're going to have to keep the Sabbath day. They're going to have to learn how to deal with the cattle, learn how to deal with the oxen, learn and incorporate the land Sabbath. Because we'll be the morning star. So these nations and their darkness, the first thing that they'll be attracted to are the priests and governors and men of the Most High God. So then Isaiah chapter 61. But men shall call you the priests of the Lord, the ministers of our God. And Zechariah chapter 8 and 20 on down, you have these heathen that's going to take hold of your skirt saying, we will go with you. We have heard that the Most High is with you, because they know that we're the morning star. We're the true light, right? Let me get that in Zechariah chapter 8, right? Let's go to Zechariah chapter 8 and verse 20. It reads, thus said the Lord of hosts, it shall yet come to pass that there shall come people and the inhabitants of many cities, and the inhabitants of one city shall go to another, saying, let us go speedily. And we got to hurry up. We on time. It's like we got a time to be, serving the Lord. Let us go speedily to pray before the Lord and to seek the Lord of hosts. I will go also. Yea, many people and strong nations shall come to seek the Lord of hosts in Jerusalem and to pray before the Lord. Thus said the Lord, this Zechariah 8 and 23. Thus said the Lord of hosts, and those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that the Most High is with you. And that's what the Israelites did to Yahushua. When Yahushua was that morning star or that light, pursuant to John 8 and 12 on down, that walked the earth 2,000 years ago, you had people just trying to touch the skirt of his garment. You had the woman that said, if I can just touch the hem of his garment, I'll be healed from my infirmity of blood that I had 12 years. You had people thronging him and pressing him and ripping roofs off of houses and knew that the Most High was with him and followed him and took ships and sailed across the Sea of Tiberias to go see where the Lord was at and see these miracles. And they followed the Lord because they knew that that was the morning star. That's how we're going to be in the kingdom of heaven. You're not just going to be sitting around in the house all day trying to figure out what to do. People are going to be, they're going to cleave to you. And they're going to know the Most High is with you because Yahweh Shai is going to give us that morning star, and that light is going to shine within us. That's what the Lord said earlier in this chapter. We're not going to have need of the sun or the moon. We're going to have that morning star, and that's all we need, right? But let's go back to Revelation chapter 22, right? Let's go back to Revelation chapter 22 and verse 16. I, Yahweh Shai, have sent mine angel to testify to you these things in the churches. So yeah, even Yahweh Shai has an angel, you know? I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright and morning star. And the Spirit and the bride say, come, and let him that heareth come, and let him that is athirst come, and whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely. And now is the opportunity to take the water of life freely. It don't cost nothing to watch a video. Last time I checked, you don't have to sit there and cash app the Most High $77 every time you want to read. This thing is free. You have a Bible in front of you. What are you doing with your time? Drink of this water while you can. Because when all hell break loose and they burning Bibles and they banning them, and there's no YouTube, and there's no internet, and there's no Instagram, and there's no live streams, and ain't none of that, and you kind of caught out there, you kind of looking around, and it's the wintertime, it's damn 29 degrees, you got, your damn daughter freezing and she's shivering, and you just looking for something to eat, and hey, look, you're going to wish you had your Bible. So now it's your time to drink of that water before the Lord cut it off, right? Let's read on. For I testify unto every man, is Revelation 22 and 18. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, the Most High shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man shall take away the words of the book of this prophecy, the Most High shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city and from the things which are written in this book. He which testifieth these things says, surely I come quickly. Amen. Even so come, Lord Yahweh Shai. The grace of our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach be with you all. Amen. And with that, Brother Naquam, watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another cold cut, giving, of course, our honor and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem HaMashiach Wamalak Yahweh Shai. Make sure brothers are subscribing to the Cold Cuts channel and getting notified when these live streams are coming out, and liking and sharing the videos, and subscribing to the main channel. The main channel is back up. The Monday Night Fire should be back up next week, most high willing, right? Monday Night Fire should be back up next, most high willing, next week. And there was one more thing I wanted to say. The Cold Cut channel, the Monday Night Fire, right? And that's pretty much it, man. But with that, most high willing brothers was edified. More live streams. That's what I want to say. More live streams will be up this week. So stay tuned for the live streams. Kwam Yashala. Shalom.